nation. Hebrew kingdom building.
Let's go to Bereshit 1. All right, let's go. Come.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning.
In the what?
In the beginning.
Bereshit.
Elohim created the Shamayim and the Eretz.
So Elohim created the Shamayim and the Eretz. But then something happened after that. Let's keep going.
The Eretz was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep.
So the Eretz was tohu wa bohu. Something happened to where it was in chaos and disorder. Okay? And darkness was on the face of the waters. That's what that means by the face of the deep. Okay? Let's keep going.
And the Ruach of Elohim was hovering over the face of the waters.
So this is what I want. This is what I want y'all to look at. So you had the Most High. He created something. Then it went into chaos and disorder. Then you got the Ruach of Elohim sent out, hovering over the face of the waters. I submit the Ruach of Elohim was moving as like to the tour, Tawah Resh, as a spy, to go and scan to see what's going on, to bring back a report, because it's wartime. Just like when it was time for them to take the promised land, they sent out spies to what? Tour. To search out the land, to come back, to give a report so we can see how to go in. Because what happened right after that? Right after the Ruach of Elohim was hovering over the waters. Verse 3.
Verse 3. Then Elohim said, let there be light.
Let there be what?
Light.
That's a declaration of war. I was with Morey one time on the phone, and we had called Malek Yahush on some things, and he's the first one who really brought this out. We were just talking to him, but man, when Yahuwah said, "Let there be light," man, that was a declaration of war, man. Don't the scriptures say, "When the light shines, the darkness flees"?
Right.
In John 1, it says, the light comes and the darkness can't overcome it. In some translations, it says the darkness can't overcome the light. That was an aggressive move. That was war. Y'all get what I'm saying? Darkness can't deal with the light. Darkness can't handle the light. When the light shines, the darkness flees, man. But now Yahoo got it. When the light shines, the darkness flees. That's aggressive. Didn't he say that I'll have one person chasing 1,000 or something like that? Yeah. It's a small amount of people chasing a whole lot of people. When the light shines, the darkness flees. Let there be light. It's war. That's war. Ain't it interesting that even the world, whenever they make war instruments, what does it do? It brings out a whole lot of light, don't it? Yeah. You drop a bomb at night, it lights up the whole dark, don't it? All the modern day weapons consist of fire. This was a declaration of war, fam. Yahuwah is an allure of war. Yahuwah Sabaoth. Things went into chaos and disorder, and he came in and said, let there be light. And there was light. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And Eluah saw the light, that it was Thub. And Eluah divided the light from the darkness.
Do y'all remember what I said, what a ish is back in the day, a ish? With the breakdown for it, though. The breakdown for it. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think about that part. It does mean fire. It is related to fire. Yeah, say it, Dawid. He on it. Say it again.
I just remember he separates or does the cutting.
Right. That's close enough. That's good. That's through. Did y'all remember that? Y'all get it? So what does a ish do? A ish, that's Aleph Yod Shin. It's the strong leader who works by cutting, by dividing, by cutting. The ish is a reflection of Yahusha. Don't they say that Yahusha is the ish? Don't they say that Yahusha is the bridegroom? And so right in the beginning, he said, let there be light, and look what the light does. Verse 4. Read it again.
And Eluah saw the light, that it was Thub. And Eluah divided the light from the darkness.
Oh, snap. So the light cuts and divides. Eluah came and divided things. That's what an ish does. Yahusha the bridegroom, the strong leader who works through cutting, through dividing, through splitting, through pressing. Let's keep going. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Eluah called the light day, and the darkness he called night.
All right, so the word for day is yom. Keep that in mind. That's yod. I believe that's ua mem. Yom. The word for seas is yam. Yod mem. So the light is, we know that's closely related to the seas. What? It is. Yom and yam. Keep going.
So the evening and the boker were the first day.
Yom Echad. Hallelujah. Keep going.
Verse 6. Then Eluah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
What? Hold on. Now we on day 2, and it's a whole nother thing of division. It's a whole nother thing of dividing. Day number 2. Ish, a strong leader who works by cutting. The first day he divided the light from the day. The second day he divided the waters from the waters. That's what an Ish does. Let's keep going.
Verse 7. Thus Eluah made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
The waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. So the firmament is interesting. Rakia. Rakia. Now it's not Ikea. Rakia, the firmament. The firmament. And he made the firmament to do what? Divide things. Let's keep going.
Verse 8. And Eluah called the firmament Shamayim.
Shamayim, so that gives it away. That's how we know that Shamayim is about splitting the waters. It's about splitting something. Because the firmament that he used to split the waters above from the waters below, he called it Shamayim, which means to split the waters. Let's keep going. More Hadassah brought that out the first time.
So the evening and the boker were the second day.
Yom Shani. Yom Shani. You got a sheen, you got a noon. That makes sense? A sheen, split. Noon, you're splitting the seed.
Right.
You got the seed of the serpent and you got the seed of the woman.
Right.
Right? making a distinction between the seed of Hasatan and the seed of the Shamayim. Yam Shani. Let's keep going.
Verse 9. Then Alua said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place, and let dry land appear. And it was so.
Ooh. Say it again. Start over. Verse 9.
Verse 9. Then Alua said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place, and let dry land appear. And it was so.
And let what appear?
Dry land appear.
What have we been talking about for years? Haven't we been talking about the regathering? Yahuwah's going to gather the people from the four corners of the earth. Yahuwah's going to gather the children of Israel from the four corners of the earth. That's what we've been talking about for years. The regathering of Israel. Hallelujah for the Gibberim. For real. For real. All right, let's go ahead and get through this real quick. So, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together, the regathering of the waters, the regathering of so there's a regathering that happens on the third day. Now, we know that number 3 also represents resurrection, right? Remember when we talked about this a long time ago. I wonder if anybody remembers this. But how being exiled out of Israel, when you got exiled, that equaled death. Remember that? So the regathering from where we were exiled from the four corners and bringing us back into our nation, to our land, equals resurrection. On the what? Yeah, that was a minute ago, huh? That was a minute. Hallelujah. That equals resurrection. Interesting how on the third day, see, I didn't capture this part, but back then, I actually didn't get this part back then. When I would go on the third day, I would always talk about the grass and the trees sprouting forth equals resurrection, which is true. But I wasn't able to put 2 and 2 together with this part, y'all, the gathering of the waters. Until now, until recently. How that's about the regathering. Because the regathering from the four corners of the earth equals resurrection. That stuff wild, y'all. So verse 9, when the third day starts, he said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. So the dry land appearing, it's like, see, Yahuwah did that on purpose because it was about the dry land appearing. And it was so. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And Alua called the dry land Aretz.
What did he call it?
Aretz.
So the dry land he called Aretz, which is a stronghold. If I don't remember, it's a stronghold for Yahuwah and his heads. It's Aleph Resh Sadi. Stronghold for Yahuwah and his Roshim. For Yahuwah and his heads. This was war. He was coming against the marine kingdom. He caused dry land to appear. He split the waters. He gathered the waters with the waters. He gathered them amongst their own kind. Same thing he did with the Tower of Babel. Oh, okay, that's what that. Same thing with the Tower of Babel. No, I think that was Ruachal. Because Yahusha, his voice was the sound of many waters. Then all of a sudden I'm hearing many waters. I'm like, Yahusha? But the Tower of Babel. Everybody was in the melting pot together. Let's be together. Let's be one people. And if we do that, we can go against the Most High. Everybody was like, yeah. You had a very charismatic leader named Nimrod. We can go against the Most High. I'm telling you, all we got to do is unite. We more in number. Let's do it. Yeah. And Yahuwah came and he split the waters. Remember, the waters also means what? Languages. Remember that? The waters means languages and tongues. And so, if you have a sign that you have dominion over the waters is the speaking of tongues. That's why Yahusha said, these are the signs of those who follow me. They will speak in different language. They will speak in tongues. Because Yahusha has dominion over the marine kingdom. That's why he was able to walk on the water. That was a sign of that. He was what? Above the waters. He was walking on the water. He was above the waters. So anyway, he had split up the languages. What happens when you split up the languages? Everybody gathers according to their own kind. That was the creation of each nation. He split up the languages. You think Yahuwah just randomly split up the languages? Yahuwah don't randomly do nothing. He split up the languages based on their bloodlines. That's what he did. That's how you got the different nations. Okay, Ashkenazim or Germans or whatever, okay, y'all gonna speak this language. Everybody who was descended from this guy, y'all gonna speak that. Everybody who descended from these people, y'all gonna speak that, etc., etc., etc. And the only people who gonna be speaking the original language of Adam and Eve are my Kodesh people. So children of Yasharel, y'all gonna still be speaking the language of Adam and Eve. Y'all gonna speak the original language. All right. So that was the third day. Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Also, when you read Jeremiah 50 and 51 about the destruction of Babylon, it keeps saying everybody's going to go back to their own people. It keeps saying that. Read Jeremiah chapter 50 and 51 when you get a chance on on Babylon, the judgment Yahuwah is putting on Babylon. And it keeps saying everybody's going to go back to their own people. It said it like 3 or 4 times. Maybe 2 or 3 times. It said it more than once, though, multiple times. That everybody's going to go back to their own people. That's the splitting up of the nations. That's everybody being gathered according to their kind. Now, the dry land appearing is a declaration of war. That's like a base that the Most High is establishing to place his people there now, who will have dominion over all these things. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like when America wanted to invade Iraq and they were like, okay, we're going to build all these military bases there. When he allowed dry land to appear, that was like a stronghold for Yahuwah's people. It was a military stronghold. It was a base where he was going to place his people to have dominion. Y'all get what I'm saying? Okay, let's keep going. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And Eluah called the dry land Aretz, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas.
That's where you get your seas. Remember we talked about the 5 seas. The gathering together of the waters we call the seas. These are the nations. This is where you get the name. They were all in covenant with the marine kingdom. That's the seas, Yam, Yod, Mem. It's the powers that come from the waters. Yod, Mem. And Eluah saw that it was 2. Verse 11, let's go.
Verse 11. Then Eluah said, let Aretz bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself, on Haaretz. And it was so.
All right, so now he calls dry land to appear. That's a base, a stronghold for Yahuwah's people to have dominion. So now the Most High, now he's providing provisions now. He's providing, he's putting up an organic storehouse on the land that he set apart for man to be on.
Right.
Y'all see this? Organic, what's the word I'm looking for? Replicatable?
Yeah.
Sustainable, storehouse that replicates itself on the base that he set apart for his people, for his creation to have dominion over everything on. He's going to put people, his plan is to put people here to have dominion and to subdue everything so they won't go in chaos and disarray anymore. Let's keep going.
And Elua saw that it was through. Verse 13. So the evening and the boker were the third day.
Well, the third day, and we talked about this a lot, how the grass shooting forth from dry ground represents resurrection. You can see that all through the scriptures. The prophets teach that. You know, we talked about that, I believe, quite a bit throughout the years. But if anybody has want any more information on that, just I can send some more stuff on that later. But for time, we're going to keep going. Verse 14.
Verse 14. Then Elua said, let there be lights in the firmament of the Shamayim to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years.
All right, so now we're talking about dividing some more things. Now we're talking about dividing the day from the night. He said, let them be for oath, for signs, for a mark. Let them be for Moedim seasons. Oh, snap. And for days, yom, and years, I believe that's Shane, or something like that. Verse 15.
Verse 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the Shamayim, to give light on Haaretz. And it was so.
So we know that that's us, right? When you're talking about the especially the stars, that's us. The lights that Most High placed in the heavens to Shamayim to bring light on to put light on the nations, that represents the Kodashim. We're the stars in the Shamayim. Don't believe that when they talk about the movie people are stars. They have the little stars that they put on the Hollywood. Yeah, you know, you've been to Hollywood, you got to see the stars. You know what's funny? More and more often, those Hollywood stars are starting to look like us recently. Interesting. But the point is that no, the stars are the Kodashim, the children of Israel, to be a light to the nations. We come with we shine like with kabod. We shine with precious jewels. We're his precious. We're like precious jewels. We're like his precious metals. And so that's why when you look in the Shamayim and you look at the stars, if you go in the country, it literally looks like diamonds blinking in the skies. It does. It looks like that's what diamonds are like. Are basically copying like the stars in the Shamayim. Like when you look at the lights that Yahuwah created in the Shamayim, it actually don't do justice. What you can get the cleanest cut diamond, $1 million diamonds ain't gonna compare to what's in the Shamayim though, to them stars. You see what I'm saying? Go in the country and look at Pleiades or Orion or one of the constellations when it's in its fullness. Ain't no diamonds can compare to that. It's just the closest you can get to it. And that's us. The stars represent the Kodashim. Then you got the star and the moon represents the heads. So, the sun and the moon, I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
Verse 16. Then Elua made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
So we supposed to rule. The lights in the Shamayim were made to rule To rule over what? The darkness. To rule over what? The day. But that's Yom. To rule over the seas. That's Yom. To rule over the day. It's the lights in the Shamayim that's designed to do that. That's us. We're always designed to have dominion and to rule. So when you even look at that word for rule, that's like Memshala or something like that. And I was wondering, because I remember I told y'all it was Mushal, and then it said like something different, like Mushala or something different, but I found out why, because I was looking at the wrong verse. Keep reading.
Verse 17. Alua set them in the firmament of the Shamayim to give light on the Arets and to rule over the day and over the night.
All right. Now y'all tell me what it says in verse 18. The word rule, to rule over the day and over the night, and to do what else? That is Mushal. Verse 18, the word rule, that's Mushal. It's about ruling and having dominion. The lights in the Shamayim were designed to rule and have dominion. It was read verse 18 again.
Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Alua saw that it was through.
So it was designed, the lights in the Shamayim, the kingdom of heaven, was designed to divide the light from the darkness. We were supposed to be cutting, dividing, and discerning. That's why we should know the difference between Thub and Ra. If you were in the kingdom of heaven, you should know that. If you're amongst the kingdom, you know the difference between Thub and Ra, don't you? Thub, good and evil. Thub and Ra. That's what light and darkness is. That's what light and darkness symbolizes, y'all, good and evil. We know because you learned that from what? Torah and the Ruach, right? You know the difference between clean and unclean. Keep reading.
Verse 19. So the evening and the boker were the fourth day. Then Alua said, let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above Haaretz across the face of the firmament of the Shamayim.
All right, now we're talking about the day. What day is this? The fifth day, right? So that's Yom HaMashiach. Remember we talked about how HaMashiach is number 5? And how that's related. Oh, I went the wrong way. And how that's related to Kamesh, the number 5. Which is closely related to the Shamayim. So no wonder the birds of the Shamayim were created on day 5. Didn't we also talk about how on day 5, how Hamashi, so Hamashi is just without the mem at the end. Y'all get it? So Hamashi is literally the same thing as Hamashim. That's the only difference, is they don't have the mem at the end. So in Hamashim, about things being isn't this related to things being like pulled out the water? Isn't this related to the waters? It's about the chaos staying outside the gates by cutting or pressing the powers in the seas. So you had the birds and the Shamayim being created, and what else was created? Go ahead and read it.
Verse 20. Then Alua said, let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the Arets across the face of the firmament of the Shamayim.
Keep going.
So Alua created great sea creatures.
Okay, somebody tell me what is the Hebrew word for great sea creatures? That's Tanim. That's a sea dragon. That's a dragon. That's just a plural of Tan. That's the plural word for Tan. Tav Nun, the marked seed. The marked seed, the marked seed, the mark of the beast. Tanim, the great sea creatures in English. That just throws you way off. Yeah, I think somebody said whales. Great sea creatures. That's actually a dragon, y'all. That's Tom. Leviathan. Yeah. So you go from the birds in the heavens. This is on day 5. This is on Hamashi. The day that's about the heavens and about the waters. Because it has Shamayim in there. It's about pulling out of the waters or pressing the waters. Let me say that, pressing the waters. What are the birds known for doing? Think about it. The eagle is the chair. Birds are known for pressing the waters, aren't they? Aren't eagles known from they'll be in the Shamayim and they'll see some fish in the water and swoop down and kill them a fish, eat them a fish, consuming the things out the water just like that. Are fish known for pressing anything in the Shamayim? Nope. But the birds of the Shamayim are known for pressing the waters. Think about this, y'all. Hold on. Think about this. Remember, in the beginning, it said what was hovering over the face of the deep? The Ruach was hovering over the face of the waters. That word hovering, it actually is the symbolic of fluttering like a bird. We know just by reading more scriptures, read the Brit Hadashah, you go into Noach, that the Ruach is symbolized by the dove. By the dove. By a bird. Number 5 is when the birds was created. Number 5, the day for Hamashi is when the dove was created, which symbolized the Ruach HaKodesh. The number 50, no wonder it was on Shavuot when what fell on the assembly? The Ruach HaKodesh. That's why. Day 50, Shavuot. As a matter of fact, they didn't call it Shavuot, did they? They called it Pentecost, which literally means 50, didn't they? It's stuff wild, y'all. Because Hamashi means literally Shamayim. It's related to that. And the birds is what Yahuwah created to dwell in the Shamayim. To dwell in the Shamayim. That's why one of the signs of this nation is the eagle. That's why do you think the other nations, all their signs are the eagle? America, the bald eagle, bald-head eagle, America. Esau, their sign was the eagle. For real, Esau, their sign was the eagle. Rome, their sign was the eagle. All the other nations. Misraim too. Because they trying to be like Yahuwah. They want a dominion over the heavens. Y'all, what was Babylon trying to do? They were trying to build a tower to where? The Shamayim. They want to be like Yahuwah. So we coming in, the people of Yahuwah from the real kingdom of heaven, and we say, nah, that's our sign is the eagle. Nah, we the real people of the Shamayim. No. The Ruachs that they were dealing with, that they were in covenant with, showed them how to do things so that they can actually fly in the heavens. How you think they had the technology to build planes? You really think that they were smart enough to come up with vehicles that can fly in midair? They just came up with that. Oh, I just studied a whole lot, and I invented the airplane. No, the fallen ones gave him that technology, y'all. That was actually a telltale sign they in covenant with the Marine Kingdom. You see that way back in ancient Babylon that they was giving them all this different technology and stuff. There's actually even y'all know that there's even some evidence, possibility. I'm not drawing no clear conclusions right now. I haven't had the time to really look deeper into it. But there's some information and evidence that ancient Egypt they had access to electricity. No, Benjamin, what's his name? Benjamin Franklin. He had created. He's the one who invented. He invented electricity. People be believing that stuff, man. No, Benjamin Franklin. He was part of one of the elite in the U.S. and he was in covenant with the Marine Kingdom. He had access to them beings, man, and they showed him some technology. He ain't come up with that, man. These dudes wasn't smart like that, man. Come on, man. Come on. These dudes weren't smart like that, man. But look at here. Now, imagine the stuff they were getting from being in covenant with their Aluas. Now, imagine what comes with being in covenant with the Alua of the universe. So the Most High's opening up ancient wisdom to us. Information. That's why all the stuff is coming out about barefoot. What that does. Grounding. It's some other things I'm not thinking about right now. But it's ancient wisdom opening up. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be on a whole nother level. Meditation. Yahushua son of Nun went to war. The sun stood still. For him, declaration. There we go. Declaration. Y'all know the real weapon to mass destruction is declaration. That's how Yahuwah went to war here in Genesis 1. Declaration. He said, "Let there be light." Declaration. Why do you think that Yahushua's coming doing the same thing? He said it's the sword coming out of his mouth. And with it, he's judging and subduing the nations. He uses it to judge and to make war. That's Revelation 19, remember? Why do you think he knows that and he moves like that? That goes back to Genesis 1. Right. They went to war with the sword of their mouth. Let there be light. Frequency, declaration. That's right, frequency too. Keep going.
Verse 22. Well, I'm going to start at verse 21. So Alua created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Alua saw that it was through. And Alua blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let birds multiply on the arets." So the evening and the boker were the 5th day.
So that makes sense why the Shamaim is about pulling things out of the water. Y'all ever thought about how come everybody in the Brit Hadashah were fishermen? I know it wasn't literally everybody, but I'm saying a good amount of the apostles and the followers of Yahushua were fishermen. Y'all ever thought about that? I believe 4 out of the 12 were fishermen. 4 out of the 12. They specialize in pulling things out of the water. You know who else specializes in pulling things out of the water? Yahushua. That's Shamaim. Sheen Mem, pulling things out of the water. What did Yahushua do when he saw the disciples? They were fishing. He was like, "Oh man, what you doing? Take your net over there." The net is just a sheen. It's something that you combing through. They said they had so many fish that they couldn't even fit it on their boat. It was so much fish. Pulling things out of the water. That's the kingdom of the Shamayim. You didn't see that much in the Brit. In the Torah or Tanakh, you didn't see too many fishermen. But all of a sudden you get in the Brit Hadashah and it's all these things about fishermen. Man, the little boy came with a fish and the loaf of bread, and Yahusha came and made it to feed 5,000. All the stuff about fish and Yahusha, he died, he resurrected. He was walking amongst the Mishpachah, and then they had fed him fish. Grilled fish, it said. I believe it's in the book of Yachanan. It said broiled fish or something. That's the Shamayim. That's Hamashi. That's about pulling things out of the water, pulling things out of the nations. He told them, I'll make you fishers of men. I'm going to cause you to regather and to pull people out of the nations. Y'all got fished out of the nations. Y'all got pulled out of the waters. All right, so dry land appeared as a declaration of war. Keep going.
Verse 24. Then Eluah said, let the Aretz bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth, each according to its kind, and it was so. And Eluah made the beasts of the Aretz according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the Aretz according to its kind. And Eluah saw that it was through.
All right, that's the 6th day. Verse 26.
Then Eluah said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle.
Matter of fact, stop there. We're going to go back to day 3 and just look into that real quick. It's something I wanted to bring out. So on day 3, the dry land appeared. And he gathered the waters below with itself so that dry land can appear. So that's how you got dry land, was when the Most High decided to gather the waters with the waters. It's only the waters under the heavens, right? So this is the nations, because the water above, that's heaven, that's Shamayim. But it's about gathering the nations, splitting up the nations together. Now you have dry land appearing. So what I wanted to talk about was sea level. Sea level. So when Yahuwah had split up the waters and gathered the waters with the waters, dry land appeared. We saw that we know that's a declaration of war, because the same thing happened again in Exodus, right? When he was going to war against Mitzrayim. When Yahuwah destroyed Mitzrayim and he was warring against Mitzrayim, he gathered the waters with the waters, and you saw dry land appear, right? Now, dry land appeared. And it said there was water on one side and on the other side, right? So that means this dry land was below sea level. Y'all get it? Below sea level. So the Israelites walked through, and after they got through, the waters destroyed the Mitzrites, the Egyptians, as they tried to chase them, because they tried to go on land that was below sea level. The Most High, Yahusha, has dominion over the marine kingdom. He's above sea level. You get what I'm saying? He's above sea level. He's above the seas. That's why he walked on water. Do y'all know the only place in America that's a major city that's below sea level is what city? New Orleans. That's not the best picture, but you know, just roll with me. New Orleans. If y'all ever been there, we went there for a Pesach one year. It's just way too much water out there. It's just you don't even feel comfortable out there. It's literally below sea level. We had some Akim at the time. They were with a different tribe. That was when San Antonio had a tribe with Rebirth. They actually had an Airbnb during that Pesach, and we went down there to where they Pesach, where their Airbnb was at, and it literally was. So you had the house right here. So this was the house. I'm trying to be on the mic too. This was the house right here, and then there was a levee that stood up like this. So you had a street, and then a wall. There's a levee that was about this high. You know what that levee was doing? Holding the water, y'all. Man, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable here. That's a man-made levee holding that water from just overtaking that whole area. I'm like, I don't trust man like that, fam. Like, no. And this is just all houses just chilling right in front of a levee. That is like, I'm talking about the house right here and the levee like this tall, fam. That's how much water it was holding back. Yeah, it was about like that. Yeah, that about right? Yeah. I went to New Orleans before when we first met. And we walked on the levee. So I know that water be up there. Well, you can walk on some of the levee, you can actually walk on them. And it's like, like a track, you can walk on them. It's a lot of water out there. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it's interesting that New Orleans, the only major city in the U.S. that's below sea level, is fully given over to the Marine Kingdom. You go over there, they doing voodoo out there. We went down there. I went down there with my Isha one time. And we was just trying to do like a daytime, date night type of thing, hang out the weekend, She get to see grandma. That's when grandma and them still stayed down there. She was trying to see family, so we just went down there. And we might as well take advantage of being down there. So we date night, we downtown, Man, they have voodoo people out there with booths selling voodoo stuff, palm readings. And they open about it. Hey, voodoo priestess right here. We do free palm readings. Come on through. I mean, for real. High levels of just debauchery, wickedness, abominations. One of the highest murder rates in the country. Like perversions on the highest level. You people dressed like females who are it's on the high level. I know it's like that in Austin too. But it's like on a high level out there. It's like a whole cloud over that city, man. It's like being in a different country, for real. It is, though. You feel like you're not in the U.S. over there. I feel like you're not in the U.S. It's like, man, I need to learn the language out here. I'm just playing. I mean, playing a little bit. Now I'm actually being honest a little bit, but joking a little bit too. It's just really different. I'm just trying to paint a picture of how different it is out there, man. And so it's interesting. It's about, Shamayim is about pulling things out of the waters, right? So my Isha came down here because an incident happened down there where they had to do with waters. Called Katrina. But man, Katrina hit and the whole city, a big portion of the city was underwater, man. I believe, if I remember right, thousands of people died. It was hundreds of people at least. The whole city went underwater because you got neighborhoods that are literally right on them levees. But what happened was interesting, though. Because what happened is that there's always a bright side to everything. As unfortunate as that was and how messed up that was, there's always something you can at least pull out of it. No pun intended, y'all. But some people, that caused them to move up out of there. Some people got pulled out of the waters because of that event and ended up coming into the truth. Maisha ended up being here because of Katrina, and so now I got an Isha. So as messed up as Katrina was, I always be like, well, you know, I got a wife out of that event though. But nevertheless, the point is that Ahmed was pulled out of the waters. But a lot of people were pulled out of the waters because a flood hit that was so bad, people couldn't go back. People ended up seeing stuff outside of their city that they never seen before. And they're like, oh, snap. Pulled out of the waters. Very interesting. So I'm going to ask y'all a question. What is the lowest place on earth? What is the place that has that's the lowest below sea level? That's Aretz, that's land, that's on the earth, that's on Aretz. What's the lowest place on earth? Dang, you smart. So that's the lowest place in America. That's close. That's the lowest place below sea level in America. Death Valley in California, and there's other small towns in California that are below sea level. But New Orleans is the only major city that's below sea level. I'm talking about in the world, though, not in the United States. That's a great guess because that is in the United States. But what about in America? I mean in the world, I'm sorry. What about in the world? What's the lowest place? Nope. Nope. Somebody just look it up. Google it, man. Googlepedia. What's the lowest place on the earth below sea level? Nah, you were right. I'll try to see if somebody else can get it. Say it again. Not Jericho. Somebody else said it right. Somebody that's not in leadership. Somebody that's not in leadership. Jordan is close. No, you had said it right the first time. Yeah. Say it again.
The Dead Sea.
Where's the Dead Sea at? Israel. The Dead Sea is literally the lowest place on earth. It's the lowest place on earth, y'all. 800 something feet below sea level. Almost 1,000 feet below sea level, the Dead Sea. Y'all know where what cities were on the Dead Sea? We're right there. Not leadership. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. No wonder Sodom and Gomorrah was so wild and wicked. Yeah. Yeah. Below the sea level. That means it's Marine Kingdom is above the Marine Kingdom dominion over that. Below the seas. We're supposed to be moving above the seas. Meaning the Marine Kingdom don't got no dominion over us. We're supposed to be walking on the water above sea level. That's why a lot of them coastal cities be so wild like that, man. Yeah. New Orleans don't get too much wilder than that, but then you go to places like my peoples came up from South Florida. It's right at sea level. Wild out there. Wild. Right at sea level. The islands, oh snap, right at sea level. Right at sea level. All them places like that. On the coastal cities though. Because even when you read in the scriptures, them coastal cities was wild. They talk about places like Tyre and Sidon. Them coastal cities was wild. After Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, there wasn't no major cities over there by the Dead Sea no more, was it? Most High, like, nope. All the cities was, you got Jerusalem, you got, all the cities was in other places. The major cities, they wasn't over there like that. You know what's interesting? Let's go back to modern day. Are there any major cities that's on the Dead Sea modern day? Anybody know anything about modern day Israel? The Dead Sea is the lowest place on the earth. There's no place lower than that. No place in the world lower than the Dead Sea. Jerusalem on the Dead Sea? Yeah, it's not too far. Interesting. Dominion over the Marine Kingdom. Yeah, I gotta see a map. That ain't, yeah. All right, we about to wrap it up. Let's look real quick at Devarim 4, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. Devarim 4, and then we're going to go to just verse. We're going to look at just verse. 29, I think. Yeah, let's start with read verse 26 through 29. Deuteronomy chapter 4.
Deuteronomy
Hold
chapter
on. We got a low. Hold on. We through? All right, let's get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 26. I call Shamayim and Aretz to witness against you this day, that you will soon utterly perish from the land which you cross over the Jordan to possess. You will not prolong your days in it, but will be utterly destroyed. And Yahuwah will scatter you among the people, and you will be left few in number among the nations where Yahuwah will drive you.
So you see how Moshe had prophesied that this was going to happen way back in Devarim chapter 4. It's not Deuteronomy 28, it's chapter 4. Keep going.
And there you will serve Elohim, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear, nor eat nor smell. But from there you will seek Yahuwah your Lord.
Oh, hold on. So he said that he was basically, we started kind of late in the verse, in the chapter, but basically what he's saying is if you turn away from the Most High will cause judgments to happen on you to where you will be scattered throughout the earth, and there you will serve other Aluas. The work of men's hand, wood and stone, which neither see, hear, nor eat, nor smell. Then it says, but from there you will do what?
Seek Yahuwah your Lord.
And what will happen if you seek Yahuwah your Lord?
And you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul.
With all your what?
With all your heart and with all your soul.
Keep going.
Verse 30. When you are in distress and all these things come upon you in the latter days, when you turn to Yahuwah your Eluah and obey his voice, for Yahuwah your Eluah is a merciful Eluah. He will not forsake you nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers which he swore to them.
Do y'all see this? This is a prophecy about now, about the latter days. That's what it's talking about. That Moshe was bringing out to the generation about to go into the promised land. If you read the whole chapter, he's talking about, man, you seen how a lot of people didn't make it from Baal Peor when they went and worshiped Baal Peor, but y'all made it. Because the people, that's actually proving what I was saying before a week ago or 2 weeks ago, that the people that were killed in Baal Peor who was laying with the women were of the second generation. These weren't the people from the first generation. These were the people that were supposed to go to the promised land who blew it. Because they were laying with the females of Moab. Because Moshe, if you read the whole chapter, he was saying, man, you see how your people, how they got cut off at Baal Peor, but you didn't. You made it because you held close. You held fast to me. And so then he was giving a warning. Hey, look, when time flies, when time goes by, and you dwell on the land, and you decide to go against me, worship other Aluas or whatever, basically you're gonna be scattered. I'm gonna scatter you. I'm gonna judge you where you'll be scattered across the nations where you'll serve other Aluas, wood and stone, and then it goes into but where I scatter you. This is prophetic. He's prophesying, Moshe. This is right. This is at the end of his life. He said, but where I scatter you, you will seek me, and when you seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with your whole heart. Now, whole heart is Caleb. And then you got seek me with your whole heart and with all your soul. That's your nefesh. That's your nefesh. So what does it look like to seek Yahuwah with all your heart and with all your soul? It's about dying to self. That's all your soul. What is your soul? That's your nefesh. That's your flesh. So you know what that is? That's seeking Yahuwah. That's in Ruach and truth. Spirit and truth. That's a whole burnt offering. That's giving your whole self to Yahuwah. That's a whole burnt offering, y'all. If you want to know what it looks like to seek Yahuwah with your whole heart and with your whole soul, you got to be to the point to where don't nothing else matter but Yahuwah. Not even life itself. When you read Revelation, that's what they were, the Kodesh team, that's what they were on. It said they didn't even love their life even to the death. But they served Yahuwah. There ain't no way you're going to be like that unless you're able to die to self. There ain't no way you can be like that unless you're able to get out of yourself. It's interesting. Men especially, are quick to be able to do that for Babylon. You join the military. For real, you'll go to war. Oh, y'all gonna pay me a salary? Y'all gonna make sure my children good? All right, hey, look, I don't know these people over there in Iraq. I don't even know why we going out there, but look, y'all better get out the way of my gun. Because I'm just doing my job, to take care of my family. And people go out there and risk their life, being out there getting killed, getting bombed, killing people, and all that. Literally died of self for Babylon. For real. Literally died of self for Babylon. For real, we think this stuff so far-fetched when people do it every day. We think it's so hard to do. People do this every day, man. Do it every day for the world, man. Think about the gangs. Then people be in them gangs and don't love their life even to the death for their neighborhoods. Who are the main people doing that? Our people. I know there's other nations that have gangs. I know. There's other nations, especially. But the main people doing that is our people. We're the people who really blew that stuff up. We're the people who really made that what it is. And then other nations started doing, really going hard too. But when you're talking about like the real, modern day gangs and how that stuff originated and stuff like that, it was our people, y'all. The Bloods, the Crips, all them types of things like that. And people join them them gangs and die themselves all the way. But you act like it's hard to do this for Yahuwah. Some of y'all was involved in gangs. Some people were involved in that stuff. And then get before Yahuwah, but it's hard to die to yourself. It's hard to get out of yourself. You was ready to do whatever when you was a youngster. For the OGs and stuff. They telling you to go run that deal so they won't get in trouble. They making you, because you underage, man. You ain't, if you get in trouble, they just gonna slap you on the wrist, man. I'm on my second strike. Getting the 12-year-olds to do their dirty work. Be quick to do it. Dying to self. And you think that it's just far-fetched for you to do this for Yahuwah. Crazy. That's backwards. That is backwards. I remember my dad was about to go to a war. I was about 12, a little bit younger than that. It was the first Desert Storm. So I was like 11. I think I was like 91, 92 or something. I was pretty young. But he was about to go out there, and they had him set up to be deployed. And I remember me and my brother was crying and stuff. And he just kept a straight face, like, this is my job. This is my job. You know, this is what I signed up for this, you know. I didn't get that at all back then. Like, Dad, why don't you just stay? Why you got to go out there, you know? And he kept a straight face, like, man, this is what I signed up for. This is what it is. He did not care. He did not care. But yeah, we act like it's just unheard of to give yourself as a whole burnt offering to Yahuwah and Yahusha. To be a warrior for the Most High. Offer yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to Yahuwah. Hallelujah.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.